credit card back, Mr. Nicely.
Okay.
Thank you for joining us today. There is a short little survey on the back of your receipt.
Oh, of course there is.
If you just have a couple minutes,
Okay.
please so kindly fill it out.
All right.
And you can get a free Philly cheesesteak.
Free Philly cheesesteak.
Free.
Woo! Can I do it on my phone?
Absolutely.
Okay, I'll do it right now. Thank you.
Thank you.
Please take a minute to complete this survey. It should only take about a minute to complete. You get a free Philly cheesesteak. All right, take the survey. Are you a male or female? Well, I'm definitely a male. How often do you visit us? Well, I'm here quite a bit, so I'll say twice a week. What keeps you coming back? Well, I love the food. Definitely love the drinks. Live music's pretty kicking on Friday, and there's pretty girls here, so I'll say the staff as well. Okay, how would you rate your overall experience with us? 5 stars. Do you have any feedback you can provide us? Would like to see you open Sunday afternoon. Okay. And thank you so much for taking the time to complete the survey. Enter your email for a free Philly cheesesteak. Absolutely. I definitely want that Philly. So just do chad@chadnicely.com. Submit. Boom. There we go. We're done. Okay, so what you just witnessed is one of the most powerful marketing strategies pretty much any local business can use. And it doesn't matter if it's a massage parlor, a tanning salon, a restaurant, realtor, any business that needs feedback from their customer, you can definitely use to your advantage because you can be the one providing these simple little surveys. Now, I'm going to show you how you can set up this survey yourself, and you can do it inside of Facebook, WordPress. You can even do it outside of Facebook and WordPress, so we have the basis all covered. Now, we've also made it very simple, where it's simple, drag and drop. We've got beautiful templates. You'll be set up in no time at all. And this is definitely something that every business has a need for. Now, we've taken things to the next level, and what we've set up is we recognize the fact that email marketing is also a very powerful tool. So based on how the customers answered that survey, we can then put them into separate lists. So for instance, if we have a customer that answers the question, do you own a home? And they say, yes, I own a home. Based on that answer, we can put them in list A. If they say, no, I rent an apartment, well, we can put them in list B. Same thing with income levels. I'm sure your mind is thinking as far as the possibilities with this survey process, and it's something that your clients definitely have a need for. So hang in there, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and walk you through the whole entire process, show you exactly how we set up the survey that this business right here is using. So I'll see you in a minute. Okay, so let me introduce to you Social Mobi Surveys. This is what the login screen looks like. Again, I am using a web-based software, no plugins, no scripts. Everything that you guys have come to know with the Mobi name, you're going to find the same exact thing happening here with Social Mobi Surveys. So I'm going to go ahead and log in, and you see that we have a very familiar dashboard. We want everything to be extremely easy for you. You guys have heard us say this before, simple, stupid. You're going to love how this software is laid out and how fast you can have those surveys up on your client's site. Now, I also need to tell you that even if you're not working with clients, you can use this software for yourself. For instance, if you have customers and you want to provide surveys to your customers and you don't want to pay those monthly services that you see with SurveyMonkey and some of the other sites, well, this is the perfect solution for you. Not only that, there are advanced features with Social Mobi Surveys that you are not going to find anywhere else. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you the crash course to what this software can do. I'm going to show you how fast you can set up these surveys. So the first thing is we're on the dashboard right now, and you see that there are no campaigns set up. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to come over here and we're going to click Create a New Survey. Now, this is the screen that opens up. Now, we can come over here and we can name the survey whatever we want. So I'll go ahead and call this Burger, okay? And then I have the option to come over here and start with a new blank template, or we have existing templates here ready to go. So if I click existing template, I can come down here and you see that we have 20 templates ready to go. Fitness and aerobics, legal, restaurant, and then there's a ton of them underneath internet marketing. So if I want to choose a fitness template, I'll go ahead and choose this option right here. And you see that we have 3 templates for you. So all I'm going to do, let's go ahead and name this to something like gym-01. Okay, it's no longer a burger, right? Okay, so we'll go ahead and choose this template right here. I'll click this little radio button and then I'm going to click proceed. Okay, so this is a template that is open, and keep in mind that most of the time this survey is going to be filled out on their phone. Okay, so what they see on their phone, it's going to look a little bit better than my wide screen does here. Okay, so the first thing is we are looking at what's called the welcome screen. See how this tab up here is lit up green? This is what they see when they first enter the page. And so we can come over here, guys, and this is simple, click and change. We can make this text whatever we want. So like in the live example that we had, our little skit there, we said thank you very much for visiting our page and taking this survey, and if you complete the survey, then you're gonna get a free Philly cheesesteak. Well, we can just come over here and change all the text. It's very easy. The other thing we can do is we can very easily swap out this image, or we can make it a solid background color. And we're simply going to do that by opening up this welcome screen and see where it says background settings. We can go ahead and do a set color, or we can come over here and click upload image, and then we can go ahead and add an image to our library. Now I've already got images loaded here, so I can either choose one of the images I already have loaded, I can add an image, or I can simply come over here to the image library and there's images that have already been uploaded. Okay, so I can go ahead and choose any one of these images that are included inside the library. So I'll go ahead and choose this dish right here, and I can go ahead and insert it into the welcome screen. Now I have some options here. I can set it to where the image does not repeat. We can stretch the image, we can make it repeat. Basically, we have you covered however you choose to use that image. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and say insert into welcome screen, and now you see that the image has changed. Okay, so I think you guys get the idea how we set the welcome screen. Now keep in mind that there's a WYSIWYG editor up here, so if we want to change the color of these fonts here, if we want to make them bold, if we want to change the style, whatever you want to do, you have full control. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do, once we have the welcome screen done, what we're going to do now is actually start setting up the questionnaires that you saw in the survey. So basically I have 3 different types of questionnaires. I have a single response, I have a multiple choice response, and then I can simply have a comment box. So if you come over here, here is the existing template for that exercise template that we chose. And so if you see here, we have a single response, and then we have another questionnaire that has a single response, and then we have another single response, and then we have a multiple response. Now let me explain the difference between single and multiple. With a single response, when the splash is displayed, the customer has the option to choose just one of these options. However, as I demonstrated in our skit with the multiple response, the customer has the ability to check lift weights, run, swim. It is a multiple response form, so they can check more than one item. And if we come down here to the end, you will see that it's concluding with single response, but I'm gonna go ahead and drop in a comment box real quick just to kind of show you. So if I click here, I wanna change this headline right here. So you see that we have this text settings up here. Watch this, this is so easy. If you have further comments, please let us know. Okay, so I'm changing it over here and you can see that it's been changed down here. All right, and that's how easy you do a comment box. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and close this for now. And what I wanna do is I wanna show you some of the different options that are available with the single response and the multiple response forms. Now that you understand how easily you can go and just click on these and add these forms in, well, now let's look at some of the options. So we'll go ahead and look at the single response again. Okay, now underneath single response, we have some options. So as you can see, we have a text option. This here is what we call a text option. But watch this. If I click on images, you're going to see a single response box open at the bottom. And now what I can do is I can add an image that is 128 pixels by 128 pixels so that it's right next to my option. Okay, we can also go and add an autoresponder. So now you see that we have a single response with an autoresponder set up. So what does that mean? Well, that means if they choose this option right here, then by clicking this link here, we can go ahead and put them into a specific list. So I can come down here, choose Aweber, and it will actually let me choose a list to put them in. So I want to make sure you understand this because this is ultra powerful and something you're not going to see in any other survey tool out there on the market. If I say this here could be what is your income level? Okay, now watch this. I come over here, I click this one, and we can say less than 10,000. Okay, and then we'll come over here and we'll add another one. And we'll go ahead and click on here and we'll say more than 10,000. Okay, yes, this is how fast we can create these options. Well, based on this here, I want these guys to go into list A, and if they choose this, I want them to go into list B. Okay, I think you understand that. The next thing we have is we have images in autoresponder. Now that's going to be the same kind of setup, except you're able to add an image here in front of your option. Okay, now check this out. You can also set it up to where we have smileys. So if I click on smileys, I think this is what we demonstrated inside the little skit, right? When it says, what do you think of the overall service or something like that? Well, they have the option to choose smileys to grade you on your survey. We can do the same thing with hearts. And we can do the same thing with stars. And I think you saw the 5 thing for the overall feeling for the restaurant or something like that. Okay? That's how that happens. You have tons of options here, but we can also come over here to multiple choice. Now remember what I said about the multiple choice. We'll go ahead and add a multiple choice down here. You already know how we can change out the headline. I already showed you how we can very easily come over here and add as many options as we want. Okay, so I've got these options being added, and then what we can do is we can go ahead and have multiple choice with images and so on, just like I showed you in the single response. Okay, so it's very easy to set up one of these surveys. Now, guess what? I am just getting started because now let's talk about the real magic. Okay, let's talk about what makes this tool so much powerful from anything else out there. All right, so we understand that we have our questionnaire all set up. All right, now remember how I edited this text? Watch this. I'm going to come over here and click this button again. Now you see that we have some options. Obviously, some of them are pretty self-explanatory. We can change the font size, we can change the font color, but check this out. Do you see this option right here that says enable text to voice? If I click this, there's going to be a voiceover that says, how physically healthy are you? The survey is going to talk to your customer, even on their phone. Very powerful, and there's all these different languages for you to choose from. Okay, you can do that with every single one of these options here. All right, completely up to you if you want to enable this. This is something very valuable that you can offer your client, and I think you can see the perceived value of having a feature like that. The next thing is, each one of these are individual splashes, just like I demonstrated in that little skit when I actually pulled out my phone and did the survey. Well, each one of these splashes can also have a background on the splash itself. So if I click on this here, I can go ahead and set a background. Now, once again, I can load the image. I can choose something from my images, or I can simply come over here to the image library. I can go ahead and set this one. And let's go ahead and set this one. Okay, I'm just completely shooting from the hips here because I know time is of essence. And we can come down here and we can do this one. All right, so I got all 3 of those loaded. Okay, so now what we can do is let's go ahead and save this. And I'm gonna come over here and click this preview button. Now watch this. Here is the first splash. Hi there, thank you for visiting this page. Please attend the survey, get 5%. Okay, let's click the button. And now you see that we have our first splash. See the background that we just loaded? Now remember, this is a single response form. So how physically healthy are you? Well, I am extremely healthy. Do you take nutritional supplements? Yes, I do. Do you guys see the background that's showing up? Now remember, this is going to look very beautiful on a mobile phone. Okay, so I think you're starting to get the idea. Now, that's how we create the survey from a template. Remember, we had a template that we chose from. Well, what if we want to start from scratch? What if we want to have a blank survey like I did in that skit? Well, it's very easy. We're going to come over here, we're going to click Create New Survey, and now we're going to go ahead and name our survey. Let's go ahead and call this one Burger. Okay, and instead of doing an existing template where you go ahead and choose your template in this drop-down menu, let's go ahead and do new. As soon as we do new, we're going to start with a blank canvas. There you go. We're going to go ahead and set our welcome screen. Please take a minute to complete this survey. Okay, and then I'll put, and let's see, you'll get a free Philly. Okay, really is that easy, guys. I'm just typing right over the template that's there. I can come over here. We can go ahead and set a background image for this. All right, so I'm just gonna go to a library here, and that doesn't look like a Philly cheesesteak, but that'll work. Let's go ahead and choose this guy right here, insert in a welcome screen. Boom, we're done. Let's go ahead and set our questionnaire. We click here, okay? And then let's go ahead and just drop in a single response text, and we'll come over here. Are you a male or female? Okay, and then we'll click here and we'll say male. We'll click here, we'll add a new one and we'll say female. Okay, that's done. Now let's go ahead and we'll do something like a smiley. Okay, we'll click here and we'll say, how satisfied are you with our service? Okay, and I just right click and that will fix my spelling, and there you go. You just go through and you create your survey. Okay, we're doing this from scratch now, but you see how fast I am knocking out this survey. All right, not a big deal at all. Okay, so once you have your survey all complete, the next thing, the last thing you need to do is you need to set up the thank you screen. This is a screen that shows up after they're done with the survey that simply says, enter your name and email so that you can get that free Philly cheesesteak. So we're gonna come over here, we're gonna click thank you screen, all right? And the same thing, guys, we have a WYSIWYG editor. We can say, thank you so much. And then we can come down here, enter your email for your free Philly. Okay, there you go. It's that easy. We can change the background image. We can make it a solid color. We click on the set opt-in button and there's some options here. We can change the submit button, what it says on there. We can change the background color, the button text color. You have complete control, very easy to do. And then check this out. We even have a way to deliver that promise to them. Now, obviously, I'm not going to be able to deliver a free Philly cheesesteak, but I can certainly give them a coupon that can be done with a URL, with a file, or even with a video, and they can walk into the restaurant and say, hey, here is my coupon for my free Philly. Guys, that's how fast you can set up these questionnaires. Now, the next thing is you want to get them online. So we made it very easy. Let's go ahead and save this. It is now saved. Let's go ahead and publish this. And now you see where it says, are you done tweaking? Well, yes, we are. Okay. So we drop this menu down. We now have a direct link. So we can click on direct link. We can go ahead and open this up. And you can see there is our direct link. And you can see that our survey is talking to us. All right, this is how the survey looks. And we also have the ability to install it on Facebook. You have a fan page? Of course you do. Let's go ahead and install it on a fan page. We click install. We go ahead and connect with Facebook. It just did that. And then I can come down here. I can choose any one of these fan pages. I can come down here, select a tab. You have up to 10 fan pages that you can install this on. So I'll go ahead and click on this guy here. I'll click install. And boom. It's done. Here's the magic URL. Let's go ahead and open this one up so that you can see exactly what it looks like. And there is my survey inside the fan page. You guys gotta love this, okay? Very powerful tool. And guess what? There's some other things here as well, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and close this, and I'm gonna come over here, I'm gonna show you. We have it set up so that you can very easily integrate your autoresponder. You simply come over here, you click on the autoresponder of your choice, and it will automatically connect to your autoresponder. As soon as I click connect to Aweber is going to say, do you give it permission? As soon as I give it permission, it will then pull all of our list into Social Mobi Surveys. We have Aweber, GetResponse, MailChimp, SendReach, but even if you don't have the API integration, yes, you can still use it with form code, and we'll show you how to do all of that inside the tutorial videos. Now, let me just show you a couple more things and I will cut you loose, okay? So let's come over here to the dashboard, all right? Now, first of all, here's the two campaigns we just created. The name of the campaign. Here is how you can get that magic URL that I opened up in my browser. Here's the direct link. You should see that it's active, the date it was created. Now, look at this. You can also go and say, okay, for this campaign right here, I want to link this to my Aweber account. For this campaign, I want to link this to GetResponse. And then, remember, we also have it set up so that each one of those items in the questionnaires can also be segmented to a different list, okay? Very powerful, but check this out. It gets even better. If I click this here, we have our meta settings. So if you're concerned with SEO, don't worry, we got you covered. You can get ranked, but this is the best part of all. We also have statistics. If I click on this tab here, I can see the statistics just for this one campaign. I'll go ahead and click this. Look at this, guys. Beautiful, right? Here's the questionnaire. If I had 10 questions on the questionnaire, they would all be listed here. So over here, you can see the overall response for your question. Okay, very powerful response. It captures unique visitors, total visitors. You can download the report. You can export all the user data. And if you don't want to mess with autoresponders at all, you guys already knew this is here. We can come over here, click on My Subscribers, and we can see a list of subscribers by their campaign, the date they were created, their email, their IP address, everything that you guys need to put into another autoresponder. It's all right here, combined with video tutorials, frequently asked questions, top-notch support. So let me just cover what you are getting with this offer. Unbelievable offer, $17. So let me just go ahead and bring this window over to show you exactly what you're getting. You get the versatile talking survey app. That's exactly what I've been demonstrating all night long. That's the one that talks to your customer even through their mobile phone. The advanced text editor, click and drag interface, the 3 response options. Remember, there's single, multiple, and comments box. And even below that, remember we have all the smileys, the hearts, the stars, the images. You have the ability to link with an autoresponder. So much is there. You got the built-in analytics tool that I just showed you, custom reports. You can export the segmented list, the autoresponder integration. We're going to give you 20 done-for-you templates in 4 different niches. You have the health niche, you have the internet marketing niche, 10 fan pages. You can install this app on up to 10 fan pages, multilingual surveys, and check this out. We're even going to give you a done-for-you template, 1 template for the next 6 months. Guys, all of this for $17. But remember, this video was just the crash course. There's so much more going on with this tool. So scroll through the rest of this page, check out some of the benefits, check out the features, and when you're ready, click that big button down below and you will get instant access to Social Mobi Surveys, and you can have your surveys up in no time at all. For those of you that have existing clients, they definitely have a need for this. If you have your own business, if you have digital products, if you have services, you need this tool. And remember, you can even segment it with separate Aweber lists, separate GetResponse lists. We even added SendReach. Everybody requested that we integrate with SendReach. We have done that. Everything's here that you need to get you up and going in no time at all. Okay, I want to thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I apologize for it being so long, but there was a lot to show you, a lot to demonstrate. Very powerful tool, but it is brilliantly laid out, and you'll have these surveys up in no time at all. Keep us posted with your results. Shoot us links to your surveys. We always see tremendous results with the Social Mobi line. Again, when you're ready, click the button down at the bottom of this page. Go ahead and pick up your copy of Social Mobi Surveys for $17. Guys, you can't beat it. And on that note, I want to wish you, on behalf of my partners, all the best.